Welcome to Brag Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous, hosted by Kandas and Larry Goins, best-selling real estate author. Whether it's learning how to be an active investor buying and selling houses or a passive investor earning double-digit returns, Larry and Kandas will show you how. In addition to helping you get started investing in real estate regardless of your current situation, they'll also show you ways to be generous with your time and resources. Let's get started with this week's Brag Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous. Here are your hosts, Kandas and Larry.
What's happening?
What's wrong with you?
Oh my gosh. Chad turned on the music and I just put my headphones on and it was like 800 gazillion decibels. Like, and Chad, it was all he could do to keep from stopping because I threw my headphones off in the corner. Shaking my head.
I didn't know what happened. Maybe a bee got to you.
Oh
or
my gosh.
A spider.
It was brutal.
Apparently somebody that was a little bit more hard of hearing than you was using those before you were.
Apparently.
They were cranked up loud.
Now listen, I usually am kind of more hard of hearing than the average person in the room. Just
really?
Because of,
you're going to self-admit that
just
now?
because of my loud rock and roll days.
Oh,
you know, I mean, I'm used to.
That's what we're going to blame.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
Now at least we have an excuse, and he's self-admitted on air that he's hard of hearing. It's not just selective; like he's actually hard of hearing.
Well, some of it is selective. I hear what I want to.
Typical.
Yeah, I can't wait till I really get old, and then I'm like, I'm old and I don't care. What? I didn't hear you. What did you say? I don't understand.
What is this show about?
Can you bring me a glass of tea? What time is it? Bring me a blanket.
Can we start talking about real estate?
Sure. Welcome to Brag Radio. Investing in to be rich and generous. Kandas, tell them who we are and what we're doing.
You just did.
As you take a drink of water.
I just put the water to my mouth.
I know. That's why I did that. So we have Kandas in here with her game leg.
Yeah, I'm still hurt.
She hurt her knee, her CPA. Working
not
on
CPA. There's
what is it
called a CPA.
What is it? An IRS?
An IRA? No.
An AIR?
I don't know what's hurt. I haven't been to the doctor yet.
FDIC?
Yeah, really.
FDIC.
Exactly.
FICA,
what is it? What is it called? It's an AC something.
ACL maybe. I'm not really sure. Haven't been to the doctor yet. We'll get it checked out before long because it's not getting any better.
Yeah, so she's wearing a brace and hobbling around. I told her we might have to put her down.
That would be bad for business.
It really would, because you are the business. I'm just the figurehead. So what we do is we invest in real estate. We buy and sell houses all over the country. We've done deals in 12 different states, right from our office in Lake Wylie, South Carolina, just across the state line from Charlotte, North Carolina. And you might be listening to this in Charlotte or Brazil or Canada or somewhere, because it's broadcast all over the place through iTunes, I.D.E.A.L, and all that good stuff as well. I've actually been traveling around the country, and I've had people come up to me. Yeah, I know, you keep me on the road. I told my wife Pam, I've slept in my own bed like 2 nights out of the last 16 days. And when I left the other day, I said, honey, I'll stop in and see you next time I'm in town. So,
you've been busy. Hey,
Kandas keeps me on the road.
Make money while there's money to be made.
But it's awesome. I've been to some great events, met a lot of cool people, teaching real estate investing in all over the country. And I love it. It's a lot of fun. Signing books and doing all kind of cool stuff. So what are we going to talk about today? I know we've had a lot going on. We got deals coming into our office. We day trade real estate. I actually wrote a book called Getting Started in Real Estate Day Trading. We also buy and sell a lot of HUD houses, and wrote a book about that as well. HUD homes, half off. There's no L in half off, right?
There is on the book.
On the book, but not in South Carolina.
There is on the book, but not when you talk about
HUD
it.
homes, half off. That's like I say library. There's only one R in library, right?
For you.
There you have it. And I do have a large library of books and CDs. I've even got cassettes.
Stuff and junk.
And junk. I've got like 6 bookcases full of education. So we just got back from our 3-day in Cleveland.
We did, yeah.
That's home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Chad.
I've never been.
Are you serious?
No,
Have you not?
I've not been to Cleveland.
Oh, my
need to
gosh.
go.
Cleveland rocks.
I've heard that.
You would like it.
It's the home of rock and roll, you know.
I know. I would like to go.
That's
We
what they
actually
say.
talked about you there.
You did?
Yeah, with your air triangle, we did. At the
Nice.
3-day event, we did.
I'm impressed.
We sure did. You've made your way
Wow.
into all the other aspects of our business.
That's cool. So do I get when do I get my share of the profits?
That's not going to happen. I'm not sure what you think this is here, but
The air triangle.
I have that officially licensed, you know.
Yeah, do
The
you
air
really?
triangle? You
I don't-
should. With the face, does the face
Where's my
come along
phone?
with it?
That's part of
I
it.
got to
yeah.
take a picture of that. That's awesome. That's awesome. But we had a great group of people.
We did.
Candace, I love the way you set up the events. We had a lot of cool comments, and we ran around the room and had people give their aha moments at the end of Sunday and say what they got out of it and what they plan on doing and rate the event.
Yeah.
We had
It's
people rate it
powerful.
everywhere from 1 to 10.
Well, the one. Go ahead and tell them what the number one was.
Well, we had a couple of 7s, mostly 8s and 9s, and we had a lot of 10s, but we had one number 1, and the guy said, "Larry, I have to give you a 1." I'm like, "Oh, okay." He said, "It's because you're number 1 in my book."
Yeah. Groupie. We got a groupie.
That's right. It was pretty cool, though.
I know
It was
you
good.
liked it. You ate it up. You've been talking about it all week.
No, I have not.
Yes, he
It's the
has.
first time I've mentioned it
Liar.
this afternoon.
Oh my goodness!
That's
It was
funny.
a really good event. I like to I like doing the check-in in the morning on the first day. I like everybody being clear on, and expressing what their reason for being there is. I think it helps set the tempo and the mindset, and they kind of open up. All right, so this is what I'm here for, and you go right into everything that they're going to get. And then at the end, when we ask, what was their biggest aha, what was the first thing you're going to implement when you get home, and rating it. I think it's great.
It's a really, really good way to open up the event. There's probably people out there listening to this. You've been to the seminars that fly through town and come through town, or you've been traveling and you've seen seminars, real estate seminars and events and stuff like that. And ours is a little different, and they're all taught personally by me.
They
Candace
are. That
is
was
there.
a big thing people said too. There were several people that said they came to meet the man. They came to meet the person behind the education, and they were really, honestly, they were surprised that you were there and you were the one that was teaching all 3 days instead of just having somebody else come and do it.
Yeah, it was really cool. But I enjoy teaching. I mean, I enjoy the money, but I enjoy teaching.
Telling people what to do, believe me, I know.
Yeah. But it actually means something when they actually listen.
I'll give you that.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
Yeah, there you go.
I got to get my name in there. But yeah, it was really cool the way you opened it up, asking people to go around the room and give their expectations. So it allows me as an educator, as a trainer, as a mentor to be able to foster that and give the
deliver
people
on it.
what they deliver on it. That's a really good way to put that.
And even if you've been to our events before, it's kind of a new thing that we've rolled out. You guys know, if you've been around us for any period of time, we operate with EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System. Check out EOS Worldwide for more information on that. But that's how we run our business. And so it's kind of worked its way into how we run our events. It's how we run our office daily. It's how we run our daily meetings. So I've kind of brought that into how we run our 3-day events as well. And talking about that, I know we just came off of Cleveland, but we also have Charlotte coming up the first part of August, 4th, 5th, and 6th in Charlotte. It's a 3-day event. Like Larry said, he teaches all 3 days. And you can get tickets for that now. They're on sale. We've got 100 seats, I think, for that. What?
About 7 or 3 left.
No, we just started registration
Oh,
for
we did?
Charlotte. Yeah, we just opened
that must have
registration
been
for
something
Charlotte.
else I saw.
Yeah, when we got back from Cleveland's when we opened that up. So give Macy a call, 877-LARRY-GO, 877-LARRY-GO, and she'll be able to give you information on the Charlotte 3-day event. She won't tell you where we're going until you register for it. But if you will get in touch with her, she can get you out an investor's kit. She can get you registered for the Charlotte event or get an office tour scheduled. 877-LARRY-GO. Ask her for an investor's kit and get her to tell you all the goodies that are inside. We'll be right back. And we're back with Larry on the air guitar. If Chad didn't have to control these little buttons over here, he'd be on the air triangle. So funny. There he goes. There he goes.
Yeah, baby. Work it, Chad. Work it, Chad. I love it. I love it. That's great. That's great.
Hey,
all right, so we're really going to get into some real estate, aren't we?
We need to. That's what the people listen to. You know, somebody told me at the 3-day event in Cleveland, they're like, when is it that y'all actually talk about the real estate? Is it the second or the third or the fourth segment?
But you know what's funny is now that's one person.
One person.
But I've had many, maybe even hundreds, tell me that you guys are so funny, bouncing off each other, just like, you know, with the what is this that we do?
Banter.
The banter. Yeah.
He liked the show. He's like, y'all are hilarious. He's like, but, you know, is there a certain segment when you talk about real estate? I was like, no, you got to listen to the whole thing. We hide it. That's the goal. That's what we do.
Yeah, we're going to sneak it in there.
Yeah.
It's like trying to get your kids to eat vegetables.
You got to sneak them in, yeah. So we did have, though, with the 3-day event, you know, we play this game. Obviously, you know we play this game. But for everybody who hadn't been to one, we play Stump Larry. And it's really where it's a question and answer session, but people, you know, bring out deals they're working on, questions that they've got. So I wrote down several of them from Cleveland, and I thought we could ask them on the air because, you know, probably a lot more people than just the person that asked has the same question. What do you think?
Should we just go back and play the recording to answer it, or do you want me to answer it live?
What recording? We didn't record anything.
Just kidding.
So one of the ones that I really liked, and I always like hearing you on the phone too, but what are some of your best negotiation one-liners?
Oh my gosh, that's great. I love
it. The answer to this one, just because I hear you on the phone all day most of the time.
Really?
If you're in the office, is I love hearing you on the phone negotiate with people. So
really?
Yeah, tell them what some
you like that?
I do. I think it's hilarious.
Wow. That's good. There are some good negotiating one-liners out there that I do use. I've been in sales a long time, okay? When I first got into sales, I knew nothing about it, but I was really good. When I first got into sales, I sold my stereo, I sold my furniture, I sold my... just to pay the bills. Just kidding. But I have learned a lot about sales and negotiating, and one of the big lines that I like when you're negotiating with a seller, I mean, the first thing you got to know is you got to get them to like you and trust you and leave the door open for them to call you back. It's very, very important. So one of the lines that I really like is when you're talking to somebody about a property and basically they are asking too much for their property, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to get the price down. So what you say is, I'm looking at a couple of houses, and although I like yours better, the other one just makes more sense, okay? So basically, in a nice way, you have said, you know, you're asking too much for your house. But see, some people, what they would say is, your house is not worth that. I'm not going to pay it.
And that just automatically puts people on the defensive.
It turns them off. It turns them off.
Like, all right, why am I talking to you?
Exactly. So, you know, it's a really good thing to say when they're just, you know, hey, I see you, but I can't reach you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So another one that I really like is, I only have so much money to work with. And right now I'm in a position to close fast and pay cash. And that lets them know in a subtle way, you know, you got other opportunities out there. You're talking to other people. But right now, I'm in a position to close fast, but I only have so much money to work with. In other words, if you stall, it might be too late, right?
Right.
So another one of the ones that I really like is...
Wait, back up. Oh, because I'm taking notes for you. I am taking it. You know I take notes. Y'all know that I take notes for you, and if you need the show notes, you just email in. Don't try to write and drive at the same time, Sylvia. It's not a good idea. Just send an email in to info@bragradio.com, and I can get the show notes out to you, or Macy can get them out to you. You can ask her about those when you give her a call as well.
That's good.
So what did you back? I only have so much money to work with. What did you say?
And right now I'm in a position to close fast.
Okay.
And the third one that I'll share on this, I mean, we have a ton more. You know what? It's kind of funny. I just thought of this. Every time we have our 3-day event, somebody, at least one person, sometimes 2 or 3 people say, when are you going to come out with a negotiating course?
They really do. It would be awesome if you did that.
I know. You know what I would call it if I did?
What?
Tongue Fu.
I love that name. That's awesome. That sounds something like what we would come out with.
What you tell them is, I'm in negotiations to start a negotiating course.
There you go. I like that. Look at Chad. That's gold, baby. That's gold. That's awesome.
People do ask for that all the time, and you are really good on the phone. What was your third one you said?
Thank you. The third one, I didn't say it yet, but the third one is when they give you an objection, like, there's no way I can be out in 2 weeks, or there's no way I can do this, or no way I can do that, or I have no way to move. What I say is something along the lines, because I want to isolate that objection.
Right.
I want to say something along the lines of, just suppose that's not a problem. Is there anything else preventing you from moving ahead? And notice I didn't say, is that your only reason for not signing the contract? I never say sign. I never say contract. I say from moving forward or moving ahead, right? Just suppose that's not a problem. Is there anything else preventing you from moving ahead or moving forward? Does that make sense?
Right.
Exactly. So that's 3 good ones right there. How you like that?
I like it.
Awesome. And we did have, this was a very, very good group of people at our Cleveland event.
We always have a good group, but the questions that came out of this group were, well, I don't want to say more advanced than other groups, but they were really into everything that you talked about. They asked a ton of questions. We did so much Stump Larry at this last event.
And you know what? We do try, based on our feedback, because we do give out surveys at the end of all of our 3-day events.
Right.
And even based on the surveys, people say, I love the Q&A. I love Larry answered all my questions. Because I tell them at the beginning of the event, my goal is to give you absolutely as much information and content as I can in a seminar-type environment. And I don't want them to leave with any of their questions unanswered. And I know, we have a lot of Q&A time, but they also grab me at lunch, at breaks, in the bathroom, and everywhere and ask me questions. Just one more question.
They
Larry.
grab you in the bathroom?
Just one more question.
You need to put a stop to that.
They're like standing beside me. Standing beside me in the stall. Hey, Larry, I just have one more quick question.
Wow, we're getting too deep here.
It happens, believe it or not. So when you come to my event, just don't talk to me in the bathroom. That's funny. But yeah, we've got an event coming up in Charlotte. It's a 3-day event. It's taught personally by me, and you'll get to see Kandas. I'll be there, and my team will be there too.
I'm not a draw. I don't know why you keep throwing that out there. I'm not the draw.
You're on the radio, aren't you?
Yeah, but that's just to help you along. You
to
are
help
the one.
me along. You think I need help?
Yes, I do.
What's up with that? You're just here for the comedic factor. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I'm here for the comedic factor. So another question that we got, and you got a couple minutes to answer. I don't know if you'll need to go into it in the next segment or not, but somebody asked, what's the quickest way to make a $10,000 payday if you're brand spanking new?
Wow.
Brand spanking new, he said. That was
brand
his
spanking,
verbiage.
That was it?
Yeah.
That's funny. I remember that question. And I also remember my answer. Find somebody you know, like, and trust that's already making money in real estate and latch onto them. Do whatever you can to get next to them. Go see them, visit them, take them to lunch, whatever you need to do to get as close as you can to them. Somebody that's doing deals and making money, and latch onto them and get as close as you can to them. And that's the quickest way to do it. Now, I know that wasn't the type of answer that you were looking for, but it's really the quickest, fastest way to do it. Find somebody who has gone before you, right? Who is where you want to be, and then get as close as you can to them. Now, I actually am going to give you what I do feel in real estate is the absolute fastest, quickest, easiest, simplest way to make a $10,000 paycheck in the next 30 days or less when we come back from the break. But before we go to the break, I want you to pick up the phone and I want you to call Macy, 877-LARRY-GO, 877-527-77, what is that, 43?
7946.
Thanks, Chad.
Thanks. It's Larry Go. Chad's looking at it, written down.
877-LARRY-GO. Let her help you get registered for the upcoming Charlotte 3-day event in August. Let her know you want to receive your investor kit, and go ahead and schedule an office tour with her. Come out and meet us. We'll be right back.
Here we go.
Sorry, hey, I was checking email. Hey.
You were checking email? That's right. People can email you during the show.
Well, yeah, info@bragradio.com. It doesn't work just during the show either. It works all the time.
Okay. That's true. That's true. It works all the time.
Info@bragradio.com. Yep,
That's
that
awesome.
does come straight to me.
I was just jamming to Van Halen, though. I'll Wait off of 1984.
That's what it was?
That's exactly what it was. Am I right, Chad?
You are correct, sir.
Chad is the musical guru. I thought I knew a lot about music.
You know nothing.
But I know nothing compared to this guy. This guy is the music guru's guru, okay? He's like, I'm taking lessons from him. He's the man. Okay, real estate. I know.
You want to know what this email just asked me for?
Oh, did you get an email right now?
Yes.
From someone listening?
I mean, I hope they were just listening. I just got an email in to info@Brag Radio. So
okay, cool.
They said, "What all do you teach at the 3-day?"
Oh, that's really good, Kandas.
We don't have time. You just need to register.
All right, I'm going to go over what we teach. Okay.
It's going to have to be very, very quick.
We go over wholesaling, retailing, lease options. We go over land contracts, seller financing. We go over negotiating, finding deals, building your buyer's list, every single way to fund, every single way to close a deal, asset protection, entity structuring, tax strategies, tax planning, and selling your property in 2 hours or less, and hiring virtual assistants, and being an active investor versus a passive investor, being a enterprise business versus a lifestyle business, and all of it, all that, and everything in between.
And you do some analyzation of live deals. You
we
pull
do.
up MLS.
We pull up deals. We get on the internet and we surf around and we find deals.
You talk about making offers.
Oh, we talk about HUD houses. We talk about day trading in real estate. Oh my gosh, we talk about a ton of stuff.
And in answering everybody's questions that can go off on so
gosh.
many different rabbit trails.
It's crazy. It's crazy. We do talk a lot about every kind of real estate. Now, here's the thing. We have people at our events that are brand new, never done a deal before, could barely spell real estate, okay? And
no offense.
No offense, but it is what it is, okay? And we've also had people at the same event that maybe have been doing it for 20 years, and they have, we talk about automation also.
Seriously?
And listen, there's a ton of stuff in
you
3 days.
You were in the middle of a sentence.
I know. But we also have people that have been doing this for 20 or 30 years, and they come to our events.
The same event as a newbie.
The same event. Now, and we did have, I just want to be authentic because that's a part of who we are. We did have one guy at our last event. He said, it's just, some of this stuff is just so over my head. I would like to see just more basics and more step by step or whatever. And I had to go ahead.
I will point out that this was his very first introduction into real estate. He didn't know terms. He didn't know.
Not only that,
product.
but he was attending for his mom who got sick last minute.
Which is awesome of a son. I'm just going to go ahead and give you kudos for being able to step up and change your plans to come out for her and to be able to support them with, which Sunday is what he said he was going to be able to do. He was going to be able to go home and feel like he could give an actual helping hand in what they were trying to accomplish since he had been there.
That's awesome.
But he didn't know anything, and he was very overwhelmed on Friday.
He really was. And also, I'm sorry, I'd walked
step away from the mic.
Well, I walked
you never
away
know
while you were
when I'm
talking.
going to stop talking.
I know. So apparently. So, but I did say, what we have to do is in a seminar type environment like this, we don't know if the person's brand new, can't spell real estate, or they've been doing it for 30 years, right?
Well,
we have to give a wide range of everything. Otherwise, if we spend too much time on beginner stuff, the seasoned investor is going to be bored.
Right.
But we had people there that have been doing real estate for 10, 20, 30 years, and they were like, wow, I've never been to an event with this much content, information, education.
Or thought about something the same way. Yeah, thought about something in a different way, rather.
Right.
That's what somebody said,
right.
too.
And we're solving problems right there But anyway, when I came back, didn't I say I was going to say the quickest way to make the $10,000?
You said other than attaching yourself to somebody or latching on to somebody is the term you used, to
but
somebody
then you jumped
can know,
into the
like,
question.
and trust.
You jumped into the question.
You were picking on me about looking at emails while we came back from break.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me answer that question. The quickest way to make 10 grand, okay, now that we're 5 minutes and 21 seconds into this segment, okay? So the quickest way to make 10 grand is to be a real estate day trader. You find a property that you can pick up at a deep discount, okay? And we can show you at the event how to do that, all right? There's many, many ways to find events, whether it's, MLS, Zillow, Realtor.com, Craigslist, direct mail, bandit signs, all the other stuff. So anyway, you find a deal, you pick it up at a deep discount, and then you market the heck out of that property. And then on the day you're supposed to buy it, let's say you're supposed to buy it on Thursday, you're going to set up your closing to buy it at 10 o'clock, and you're going to sell it at 10:30, okay? It's called real estate day trading. You can literally do it with no more than $500 out of pocket to do a deal and pick up a $10,000 check. In fact, we try to make a minimum of 15, but we will go down to 12, don't we, Kandas?
Right. Yeah, 12 is what we really like to stay between. Now, if a deal calls for it, and we do make, though, if we're able to offer properties to students and things, sometimes situationally we could, do a little bit better than the 12. But when we have to put a property out to just the general public, that's what it's going to be.
That's exactly right. And the way we're going to show you how to build a huge, hungry list of motivated cash buyers so you can have your property sold in 2 hours. Just this past week, we sent out emails and sold 2 properties, right, Kandas?
Yeah, we've got, I don't even remember the first city the one was in, but the greenhouse, the big one was in Orangeburg. There's a big
right
house,
outside Orangeburg, I believe.
Big house went out in Orangeburg, and then there was a smaller one that we just got under contract this past week in Jamesville.
That's right.
Both of them went out.
And the leads are just pouring in. I mean, they're gone. They're gone. So whether you want to be an active investor or a passive investor, an active investor is you want to learn how to go out and find deals, negotiate them, get them under contract, sell them, and make a quick 10 grand. Or if you're in a position where, hey, I got money, whether it's in a 401k or a self-directed IRA or HSA or ESA, if you've got money and all you want to do is just write a check and get a decent return on your money secured by real estate because maybe your 401k has turned into a 101k. You knew that was coming, didn't
you?
I could see it.
I did.
I could see that. So, if you're tired of the volatile stock market going up and down and you want to make an investment passively so you can just get a monthly check, then we can show you and help you with that as well. Right, Kandas?
Yeah, we can do all that.
Good. So I answered the question from the last segment, and I also answered what all we teach at the 3-day. So if you're a passive investor or active investor, either one, we can help you out at the 3-day, and you should just call Macy right now. Call Macy. Write this number down. Grab a pen. See that blue pen sitting over there? It says BIC on it. Grab that pen. Okay, hold up your palm of your hand and write 877-LARRY-GO. 877-LARRY-GO. And I'm not even going to say what those numbers are.
Don't try it. We failed in the last time. Yeah,
I know,
Chad
right?
had to save us with that.
Just look it up on your phone, 877-LARRY-GO. And I want you to call Macy. And Macy will, there's several things that Macy can do. Tell them what Macy can do.
Thanks, Vanna. Or Alex, I would be the Vanna in that case. But, yeah. Macy can get you set up with an investor kit. It's got a copy of the day trading book Larry wrote. It's got a copy of HUD Homes Half Off, which he also wrote. There are some other goodies in there. Now, you can get the digital kit if you call in. You can also get a physical kit if you'll call her and schedule an office tour to come by. We save the physical kits for those that are willing to take more action. So come in, schedule a tour, walk around, meet the guys and girls that work with us, and pick up a physical version of that. She can also help you with getting reservations or getting your reserved seats for the Charlotte 3-day event. It's coming up August 4th, 5th, and 6th right here in Charlotte. We will be there, and she can't give you the event location details until after you register, so don't even ask. It's not going to happen. but she can give you the dates and the general location and go over again everything that it is we cover at those 3-day events and get your seats reserved. So she'll be looking forward to hearing from you. 877-LARRY-GO. You can also send me an email to info@bragradio.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Brag Radio. It's always nice during the breaks to see Larry playing air guitar and Chad on the air triangle. they keep things interesting in the studio, I'll tell you. It's time to highlight one of our students that is making money in real estate and being generous with their time and money, with their blessings, being able to pay it forward to others. And give you guys a little bit of insight into just a bunch of the different creative ways to work real estate. So this week we've got Quinn.
What's up, Quinn?
Hi there. Hey, guys. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, buddy?
Great.
Guys, before I have Quinn talk, I just got to tell you guys, I met Quinn at the very first real estate investors meeting that I ever spoke at out of state. And it was in Florida, wasn't it?
Gainesville, Florida. Yes,
Gainesville, Florida.
He knows the story just as well as you do.
I know, right?
Yes, I was there.
Live and in person.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
He's so funny.
So Quinn actually invested in my training, and he's been doing real estate now full time for, I don't know, at least 10 years, I guess, right?
Yes. Yep.
That's huge. This guy's rocking and rolling. He's a rock star. He's rocking and rolling, and I'm just really proud of him, really excited. In fact, we had one of our 3-day events not too long ago, and you actually came up and brought somebody with you to attend the event as well. Continuing to learn, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes, it's a never-ending process, and of course, bringing someone along. Josh has been working with me for actually this March 1st was a year, so.
Wow, that's great.
But yeah, he's actually a personal trainer by trade, and we were just started talking at church one day, and he's like, I want to come over, and he lives about an hour from me, and he's like, I want to learn, more about what you're doing, and so the rest is history. But
that's great. So tell our listeners a little bit about what you're doing in real estate. I know you do a lot of stuff, but tell them a little bit about yourself and your business, and and then kind of what you're doing in real estate.
Okay. So over the last 2 years, put more of a focus back on wholesaling deals and stuff like that, and then we flip, retail flip, about 4 a year on average the last couple of years, and just taking in, basically just working the models, the wholesaling thing, and I put a year ago or two, probably about a year and a half ago, I wrote down on one of my, probably my LinkedIn account or something like that, follow me as I go from local to virtual real estate investor. And that was kind of my, my goal at the time a year and a half ago. Is like, I got to figure this thing out, how to get this thing virtual. I live in a small market. So no excuses for you guys that have a big market. I don't want to hear about it. And just kidding. But you can do it from anywhere. Like I said, our whole town has like 7,000 to 10,000 people in the whole town. And we're in one of the 7 smallest counties in Florida. And so I just want to go virtual, and so we actually. We started buying in Gainesville. Matter of fact, the house that we're selling, that we'll be closing on this month, I think we got it scheduled for somewhere between 15th and 28th. I can't remember exactly which day now. And that one, I've never talked to the buyer. I talked to the buyer about a year and a half ago, but Josh handled the buyer. Josh, talked to the seller. I've never seen the house, and so we are, there we are. We're going to flip that house, and I think, our gross is about $15,000 on it. I think we got a little bit of cost coming out of that, but we'll net about $15,000, $15,000 on that deal. So
that's huge. That's not a bad payday, is it?
No, it's a great day.
I bet Josh is really glad he hooked up with you now.
Yes, sir. Definitely, it takes a lot of personal training to make that kind of money. So
that's right.
Yeah, definitely. But he's got the tenacity and the do it, the drive.
The drive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes him a winner, and that's what that's what I've seen in him. I just just doing a thing that's doesn't pay as well. So.
That's great. That is great. So I know that you guys, I know you pretty well, and I know you guys are, very involved in your church and stuff like that. So tell us some of the ways and some of the things that you guys are doing to be generous with both your time and with your resources.
Gotcha. Yes, sir. Well, obviously we, I told you last time when we were at the 3-day event, I probably get at least a call a month, of folks that are looking for, help because of the video they've seen that you and I made back 10 years ago or 12 years ago.
Oh, the testimonial you did for me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And but things like that. Of course, we serve in our church. My wife is a singer. My son plays guitar, drums, in the band, stuff like that. We actually joined a church that's an hour away from us too, and it's actually in Gainesville now. So it's an hour one-way drive, and so we try and serve there. We do serve there. We couple of days a week we're down there. So always looking for somebody who wants to do better. Don't really know when they're stuck. I actually had a great conversation with a guy today. For those of y'all who don't know, I had a car audio shop I did car audio for 20 years. That was the last business I sold before I got into real estate full time. And so I had a great conversation with a guy today, and I was, he's had a shop in town for 11 years, and he's like, hey, would you give me some pointers on how to make, grow my business? And I even told him, I was like, man, I appreciate you, asking me, because I love talking about business with folks, and how we can make it better. And, anytime somebody's, looking for help or coaching or, all that kind of stuff, I just love to see someone do better. And so any chance I get, and I know, Larry, that's your heart too. You wouldn't do everything you do without it, because you can do real estate and be under the radar, totally under the radar. Nobody ever know you're there.
Exactly. And you're really mentoring others and helping them to better their lives so they can go out and help others as well.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Yeah. My son, who just turned 19 in January, he's bought his first property when he was 17 years old.
Wow. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. And then he's, a couple months back, he was working with me, and then I told him, hey, anybody working with their children can be difficult at times or whatever. And I said, listen, son, you really don't need me. You got this. You can make this happen, and I don't want you to feel bad about it. I don't need you to work for me. I need you to, do your own thing. And so, his first property, he wholesale flipped and made $11,500 on it.
At 17.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He had just turned, he was 18 at that time, but yeah, he'd already made 11,000, and he actually, the guy we're going to see today that's speaking at the Real Estate Investors Club is, in Jacksonville, actually partnered with Branson, because when he met Branson, which is my son, he was like, I'm impressed by this guy, and he goes, so he started pushing Branson and saying, what's your problem? Why are you not doing more deals and all this kind of stuff? And Branson's like, oh, well, I just don't have the money. He says, how much money do you need? And he's like, $150,000 do it? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, okay, you got money now. So what's the excuse now?
There you go.
Yeah.
That's great. Quinn,
it's been great. So,
man, that is awesome. We really, really appreciate you being on here and sharing this. That's just awesome, man. You're like the prime example of a successful student who went out there and did it, made it happen, and now you're sharing it with others and helping them as well as your family. So thanks so much for being on. We really appreciate it.
That's going to wrap up today's Bragg Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous. For more information about what Larry and Kandas talked about on today's show, or to get a free investor's kit, call 877-LARRY-GO. That's 877-527-7946. You can also go to braggradio.com. Make sure to tune in every Saturday for Bragg Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous. Larry and Kandas will show you how to invest in real estate and the many ways real estate creates the ideal investment here on News 1110 99.3 WBT.